Hi, everybody. Just one second.
Cool. Sweet. You want me to close this?
Yes, please. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Happy Monday. For most of us, that means dial day. Craig, it's so good to see you on here. I'd love to see your face. If you can turn your camera on, it's been too long. Tim, good to see you. Jennifer, back from vacation. She looks so happy about being back, doesn't she? All right, Brooke, I'm imagining that's Sherry beside you. Am I right?
I'm in Washington with my daughter and grandkids today, and I'm introducing her to you, Paige.
Love it. Love it. Nice to meet both you ladies.
She takes a test in May. Yep.
Okay, good. It's right around the corner. We're glad to have you guys tuning in. Actually, you're probably at the ideal time for what we're going to talk about today. Okay. What we are talking about today, every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern, we do a quick 30-minute training. And sometimes it's with guest speakers. Sometimes it's just with me. Just me. And then sometimes we're lucky enough to have Jennifer on here. And so we do a lot of varying topics, but today I felt like it was really important and maybe a bit late given today is tax day to talk about treating this like a business. Okay. So this is a business. So the number one thing that I want to say, I have a list of things I'm going to go over with you, and excuse me as I'm showing my notes. But the first thing that is super important when you get started in this business is to use a separate bank account. It does not initially have to be a business account. It can just be a separate personal checking account. But you do not want this money going in with the rest of your household money where you pay your cable bill and your water bill. For accounting purposes, that will be an absolute nightmare, and you don't want to have that. It is way easier to do that, to set it up, started. However, if you have started and you are using your own personal account, it's just literally like a change of bank deposit, the direct deposit account. It's a form with each of the carriers, but it's a little bit of a pain because you have to call the carriers. You got to get the form, you got to submit it, you got to make sure they have it and all that good stuff. Also, Richard, welcome. Richard is a brand new agent working with us. He's in Clayton. So Jennifer, he's practically your neighbor. And Richard, today we're going over treating this like a business. So you're good timing as well. So again, having a separate checking account does not have to be a business account, just a separate personal checking until you grow this to the point that you need, say it, read your emails, read all of them. I have so many people, they're like, oh, I didn't know I had any debt. They sent you an email. Oh, I didn't know that my AML was due. They sent you an email. They copy me on all of them. If I see them, you guys should see them, for heaven's sakes. So we do recommend a separate FFL email so it doesn't get mixed in with all of your Kohl's shopping cash points and this and that, right? We don't want it to get mixed in with that stuff. So be sure that you've got a separate FFL email. And again, you want to give that to the corporate office for their email blast. You want to do that with each of the carriers so you don't miss the important correspondence that's going to come. I mean, you might have a client who does that first premium payment doesn't go through. You want to read that email. You want to call that client. You want to use their why and remind them why this was so important and help them figure out what day they can pay it so you can help it not lapse or not ever get started. But if you're not looking at your emails, you don't know what even happened. So you can get chargebacks you're not even aware of if you're not reading your emails. So read your emails. And I really do recommend set up your email with folders and, so that you can keep up with different things here and there, whether it be, like insufficient funds from a client, or whether once you start getting emails about trainings and possibly traveling to the regional trainings or the annual conference, having little folders where you keep the things that you'll need so that you can find them quickly and easily is really important. So not only read your emails, but keep them organized. I'm a little OCD. I don't like to have unread emails. And once I've read them, if I don't need them, they're out, they're deleted. So I'd love to only have 5 emails in there. It's not that good right now, but I'd love it. One day, maybe. All right. So the next thing I want to mention, guys, this is a business. So you get to deduct expenses, business expenses from your taxable income. And I do want to encourage you that if you're not doing your own taxes, please work with a reputable, ethical accountant. Okay. You want to use every single thing you can to your advantage to lower your taxable income, but you want it on the up and up. You want to be legal. You do not want to set off any red flags or alarms that says, whoop, whoop, audit her. We don't want that. We don't want that. I'm pretty OCD about keeping my records. I'm a past admin and past project manager. So it's just kind of hardwired in me. I'm ready if I should ever get that phone call, but I'm going to do my best to avoid it. So, but do keep in mind, if you have bought yourself a tablet to do this business, that can be written off or a laptop. If you order some of the Family First Life polos, you can write that off. If you order a name badge, write that off. Shoot, the person who originally hired me in this said, listen, if you buy underwear and you're wearing them on appointments, write them off. I don't know if you should go that far, but keep up with your expenses in a logical manner. And so that you have them, you can deduct them. And then heaven forbid you get audited, you are able to show them. Okay. Now, next in that is keep up with your mileage. Your mileage is deductible. And if you're like me and you're traveling, tomorrow I'm going 2.5, 3 hours away. So that's a lot of miles that are going on my car tomorrow. And you bet your bottom dollar, Uncle Sam will have it reported. I am old school. I have a little tiny calendar in the door of my car. I don't pull out of my driveway without writing down the starting mileage. And I don't get out of my car when I get home without writing down the ending mileage. I also put what county I'm running in, just because if I ever get audited, I make my appointments in my appointment book. It also has the county. So if they look on like tomorrow, the 19th, they'll see my mileage. And if they look in this book, they can see, yes, she was in Durham. She had 10 appointments, so it all, again, if I'm getting audited, I don't want to be in trouble. I want them to be like, this was the easiest audit ever. Good job. Gold star. See you. Never. I don't want them to ever come back to me. So, but the mileage is huge. If you're not keeping up with your mileage, you're crazy. And there are all kinds of apps that will do it for you. I just don't like them. I'm old fashioned, but you can do it however you want to. Okay. It's your business. So the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is, all of this stuff we're talking about, mileage, expenses. Keep this stuff together. Have a way, whether it be a couple of file folders or whatever you need, keep it organized. So when it does come tax time, you are not running around like a chicken with your head cut off. Okay. As those not W-2s, we don't get W-2s, 1099s come in, put them in a same space. If you're doing something that's tax deductible, I'm sure you already have a place you keep those receipts for your regular taxes. Just add another folder to that so that you can keep up with all of your business stuff. Okay. So next I want to talk about actually tracking your business. So Melissa, can you make Oh, you already did. Thank you. So tracking your business, when you go out and you help a family with life insurance, I think it's critically important that you take a few extra steps so that one, you are able to get back in touch with them anytime you need. And two, they have a feeling that you are truly their life insurance agent for life. Okay. So the very first thing that happens when I help a family is they go in my phone. Before I leave their house, I take a selfie with them. If you guys see my selfies, they're hysterical because one, I'm short. Two, my arms are short. So in my selfies, I'm about this much of me is in them if there's somebody tall with me. If anybody ever remember watching, I can't remember, Tool Time with Tim Allen, the comedian, and the neighbor, Wilson, that's me in my selfies, okay? However, I do this and then I text them and say, thank you for taking the time and for trusting me to help you. I enjoyed our time together, and I include the picture. A lot of times I will take their phone while I'm right there. I'll put me in their phone. And by the way, I put me in as life insurance, Paige Lowmeller, and then I put the picture with it. So when I call, this much of my face comes up and they remember, oh, that crazy short woman. Okay. So these are just things that keep you in the forefront of it. When I call them back in a year, because I do annual reviews, I want my face to pop up and for them to be like, oh, this, it may say spam, but it's not spam. It's just that short woman. So they'll answer the phone. So I think that's really important. The next thing that I do is, and the selfies, by the way, I like to post those in our Slack group. And then our social media girl grabs them and just, she doesn't, no names, no nothing, just has them on a loop as families that we've helped. And it's only there for like a split second. But it looks great. You can just tell that the empowerment team is protecting families, and that's our goal. So I do want to share with you guys something very important. Share screen. There it is. Let me find it. All right, hold on one second, guys. Let me see. I just had Freddie send this to me. I thought I had it open. My apologies. So the next thing I want to do is I want to show you guys when I come back and I've helped a family, we actually have a client work spread, like a spreadsheet that we use to track our business. And by the way, the template for this, can everybody see the spreadsheet with Bob and Mary in there? Okay. Okay, good. So we have this template on our website, fflempowerment.com. And it's in there, and it actually has a very short training from Freddie about how he uses this. Freddie is kind of like the back office for me, and he's the one that keeps up with all this. So what we do is we come in here and we do one spreadsheet per year. All right. And Cheryl, this is right on our website. You can download it if you want to do it. It already has the formulas built into it, all that good stuff. Okay. Melissa, would you mind typing the website and the password in there for me in the chat? So guys, what we're doing, you see how on Bob's, let's go across with Bob. So we wrote this in February. It was Americo. We wrote him the CBO 100. Can you guys see where I've got my mouse? So it was for a 25-year term. This is the date it was submitted. This is the death benefit amount. This is the monthly premium. There's a formula in here so that the annual premium is automatically calculated. Got a space for policy number, and then the status. If it's pending, Freddie normally has it yellow, so it catches his attention. Because every morning, like tomorrow morning, he will come in, and when he opens the spreadsheet, the very first thing he does in the morning is he checks to see what is still pending, so he can go log into Americo and see if Americo's asking for anything else so that they can approve it. This will help you not lose sight of your policies. And, you know, literally it might just be one thing that you missed or one additional thing they're asking for that might take you 5 minutes or less. But if you don't know, then you're just holding up that client getting covered and you're holding up yourself getting paid. So we put in the date that it's approved right here. And I always include the draft date because a lot of times clients will call and ask, when is this going to draft? Okay. So you guys see what's in here, O/A. Anybody have any idea what that might stand for? That should stand for what everybody aims for. It means on approval. On approval. So when I'm in a home and I get to that part, let's say, Tim, I'm meeting with you, okay? I'm like, okay, Tim, so what most people do that I help is they let this draft on approval so that that coverage starts right away. I'm talking immediately. Is that all right with you?
A little good.
And people say yes, 95% of the time. Every now and then I'll get, oh, it's got to be when I get paid, or, oh, it's got to be with my Social Security. And okay, we can work with that, but you want to minimize that. We want most of these things to be on approval because that means people have money and it's not going to bounce. If you do a lot of post dates, you will have a lot of first drafts not go through. It happens. It's all in how you position it. But we like to include that information right here. So if Mary calls and says, hey, when's my policy going to draft? Oh, well, we set it to draft upon approval. So Mary, watch the very first time it comes out of your bank account. Let's say that's the 20th. It'll always be the 20th. But if they did tell me a specific day, it's right there. Then my Freddie typically calls my clients. You guys can call them when they're approved. This is a very important step. It helps keep your business on the books. Once it's approved, the annual premium comes over to the issue paid. You see that happens automatically once you've entered it. And then this adds up year to date issue paid. And it will, we do not have it calculating commissions because each of the products have a different commission level. So let's say you're at 100%. Okay. Then there's, like, if you write a whole life, it's usually going to be 5 to 10% lower. So you're talking about 95 or 90%. So you do have to figure this full commission number yourself. Your phone, your calculator, or if you're a math whiz, your brain. I am not a math whiz. Okay. But then what happens is it also adds up year to date full commission. So you can kind of keep track of how much you're getting. And then it is set to automatically calculate the 75% advance. So you don't have to do the math from full commission to your advance commission. And then we've got the advance year to date. And beyond that is the date that I actually get paid from this. Like when it hits my bank account, that gets typed in here and the yellow goes away. And then the remaining commission, the trailing commission, when it's due. Now, I will be honest with you, you need to write enough policies that you can't keep up with getting paid for all of your trailing commissions. They will come, but you need to be so busy that you're like, oh, surprise money, yay, and you just keep on moving, okay? If you're not busy enough and you can track each and every month 10, 11, and 12 trailing commission payment, you're not writing enough business, just to be honest, okay? So this spreadsheet helps tremendously. On top of the spreadsheet, we update CRM. So what I mean by that is inside the CRM system, you can go in, you can fill in information that's not already there. You can check any type of health conditions. You can put notes in there about what you sold them, the policy number, the death benefit, the monthly premium, anything. So if you're ever anywhere and you need to pull that up, you have it at your fingertips. They will, the mobile version will be out soon for us to be able to do that right on our phones. Okay. But we update the CRM, and that's really important. So, because at the 1 year mark, actually 50 weeks, it will send an email saying it's time for an annual review. And lately, I will tell you that at least one policy per week that I've been writing is from an annual review client. I've never been as diligent as I am this year about calling my clients for their annual review. I'd like to take the credit, but it's truly Melissa. She keeps me organized and she pulls everything for me at the beginning of each month. And, you know, sometimes I don't help them with more, but I'm building that relationship that if they want more or they know somebody that wants more, I'm the front of their memory because I've just caught them on the phone or I've just met them in person. Okay. But a lot of times I am helping them with more coverage. Sometimes, Jennifer, I know this happens to you like it does me. We get them a lower amount than they really want because that's what fits the budget, right? After a year, they know whether they have more wiggle room in their budget or not for more insurance. And if they do, we want that to be from us, not somebody else that calls them and goes in that house. Okay. So this is all about that repeat business, if you will, in referrals. So we've talked about following up with pending. The other thing that we do, once that first payment is made, I send out a thank you postcard. Okay. And if anybody's interested, I order those from Vistaprint. Postcard, it's not expensive, and postcard postage is the least expensive postage, but yet still first class. So, and it already has like a typed out message. Literally, I just sign them all and Melissa writes the address on them and mails them out as they come through and get done. In addition, we send out birthday postcards, again, created in Vistaprint, our logos on it. And again, all of this is aimed at retention. Okay. Put that with the annual review and people know that you're their life insurance agent for life. Okay. So the other thing that I want, oh yes, thank you, Melissa. She's a mind reader. All right. So this is the thank you card. And on the back, it looks like this. That was supposed to be red. It was a mistake, but now they're red. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to help protect you and your loved ones with life insurance. Please feel free to contact me with any questions or concerns, or if I can be of further assistance. I also specialize in retirement planning and protection, in addition to all forms of life insurance. The greatest compliment you can give me is the referral of a loved one or friend. Thank you for your trust in me. So it says that right on there. And then the birthday card, look, our logo coming out of the present. Isn't that perfect? It says best wishes for a great day and a great year ahead. And then on the back, it says best wishes for from your life insurance agent. Enjoy your birthday. And then I've got my name, email, phone number down at the bottom. And again, the cheapest postage that you can use, again, keeping the client retention. So this brings us full circle back around to taxes. You know, guys, if you're really, really killing this, I really do recommend that you use an accounting software, Quicken Books or something like that, or get an accountant. If you're really killing this, then you need to be making quarterly tax payments, so you're not hit with a really big bill at the end of the year. And again, keeping up with the fact that everything is an expense. Your leads are an expense. Getting your license book is an expense. getting your E&O, Richard, which you'll be doing soon, that's an expense. Everything's an expense, and we can write all of that off. Okay. So you want to keep up with stuff. You want to be organized. You want to keep up with your clients. Not every person has a steel trap memory like Jennifer Cornell. She does. She does. I don't understand it. I can't even fathom it. So most of us need these type of systems in place. And again, on the empowerment website, we have this same template that I showed you with Bob and Mary in there. You can take them out. Please watch the very short tutorial that Freddie made on using the spreadsheet. If you're familiar with Excel, you don't need to, but if you're not that familiar, I do recommend watching it, because you can do just like Freddie did and delete the formulas if you don't do it right. So he made a video to tell you how not to screw it up like he did. So we all live and learn around here. Any questions about all this stuff, guys?
Yes, I'd love that postcard and just an immediate thank you card the day of the business. Is that model? Can I get that logo and stuff so I can send a Vistaprint also?
So that's a great question, Tim. And you are welcome to take what I've already done. I believe it is shareable through Vistaprint. But I will also say you can design your own. You guys can use logos, whether it be a Family First Life logo from corporate, or even the empowerment logo, whatever you want to do. And all of that is in our new gateway. If instead of picking the ILC, is that right? Integrity Lead Center. Instead of picking that where your leads are, you can choose the marketing portal. Let me go double check what that's under.
Thank you.
Yes, marketing. It's the very last thing. And under that, you will find all the logos, Tim, and you can use any of them in any manner that you want to, whether it be a business card, the thank you notes, anything that you want to do, you're welcome to do it. The bag I carry in, what's that?
FFLempowerment.com?
No, that's on the corporate site, the new gateway site where you go for your leads.
Okay.
You know how on the left, you pick the little thing that looks like a person for the Integrity Lead Center?
Yes, ma'am.
At the very bottom, the last one is marketing, and
Thank you.
all the logos are in there.
Thank you.
Yep, you can use them. I have the bag I take into the house has the empowerment logo printed on it.
Thank you.
Vistaprint does a good job. You can really use anywhere that you want to.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Any
Another
other
question?
questions? What's that?
Another question?
Yeah, please.
You sent out a communication April week 1, week 2, week 3 schedule of training, excitement, things that are happening on different days.
Mm-hmm.
This as far as it goes. How do we get access to those?
Okay, those, first of all, that email's from corporate.
Yeah.
And we may be copying it and sending it out. Everybody needs to be sure you have signed up for the corporate email blast so you don't miss those things. So Tim, you get access to those by being on Facebook, my friend. Tim is trying his best to not be on social media. You do not have to make a single post. You don't have to put up a picture of your family all dressed in their Easter clothes. You don't have to do any of that, okay? But our national training is every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern time, live on Facebook. Almost every training we have, Tim, is live on Facebook. Make a Facebook before the end of the day, or I'm coming to Texas to beat you up. Boom. I'm dropping the gloves, Richard. Us hockey fans know what that means. Dropping the gloves. I'm coming. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, but seriously, you have to be on Facebook to be successful at this, or you will miss out on the trainings. Now, I will also say they have the True Talk and the Inside the Sale. Those are podcasts that they actually email to you. They're on YouTube. They come on to the Facebook. So lots of different ways to look at them. But if you haven't signed up for the corporate email blast, that is also a must. That and Facebook. I cannot wait to get your friend request. I can be your only friend, me and Family First Life. You don't have to like anybody else.
Thank you.
So that's a great question, though, and I'm glad you asked so I could give you a hard time. Any other questions? I promise I won't pick on anybody besides Tim. Jennifer, do you have any recommendations? And don't say you use your memory like we know you do.
I can recommend an app that I use for my mileage. I use the Stride app, and I hit, before I even leave my driveway, I hit track my miles. And when I get home, I stop it. And then at the end of the year, I can go in and it tells me how many miles I traveled the whole year. So I do use that. I write off every bit of printer ink, paper. I write off part of my home, because I do all my dialing from home, my cell phone bill. So there's a lot of stuff that you don't think about that you can get written off. And we have a fantastic accountant. So
Yep.
And she's not an accountant. Like, don't think you have to have an accountant that you like keeps tracks of especially in the beginning. I mean, last year's the first year. I've been here 3 years. Last year's the first year we got an accountant. And I only talk to her like a couple times a year. It's not anything big deal. We primarily just use her for taxes. She gives us some advice, and of course we can call her if we have questions, but I by no means pay her monthly or weekly by any means for my business. So
yeah, it's pretty affordable.
Mm-hmm.
But in the beginning, especially if you use something like QuickBooks, you can definitely probably do it yourself if you're inclined that way. If you're like me and 2 and 2 is 5, then either you're married to a Freddie or you get an accountant. That's how
We
it
have an
works here.
accountant. My husband and I both have small businesses, so we don't do things ourselves. We haven't in a very long time. So
There you go. Cheryl, did you or Brooke have a question?
Yes. So with Brooke, okay. Because I told you I'm going back as a new agent, so we're going to walk this together. That's why I'm in Washington, kind of, sort of. So Brooke will have her test in first part of May, right after her birthday, probably. And can she get on the portal? Like if we're going to work together a little bit, can she get on the portal before she takes her test, or does she have to wait till afterwards to start doing what you've just discussed with seeing things to understand?
So you can definitely log on to our website, but honestly, Brooke, that's not my recommendation. That test is no joke. It is not easy. I passed it one time, took my husband 5. Okay. So, but even that one time I was sweating bullets. I didn't think I passed it. It's hard. So I recommend staying completely focused on the coursework. Completely.
She has a little 1-year-old too. She's got, between her and her husband, they have 8 kids.
You definitely don't need anything else.
Did you say 8?
Yes.
That's what I want to know. 8 kids?
My oldest grandchild is 21. My youngest is 1. She has half of my grandkids. I have 12 grandkids. So I'm out here being Grammy for Easter. And look at him. Richard, I like you.
I birthed 6 of them, and 2 of them are my husband's.
Oh my goodness gracious sakes alive. No, Brooke, I'm surprised you're speaking English like an adult.
Thank you, Paige. Thank you. I'm here to be support for my daughter. This is my oldest baby, and I got to give her kudos. She's a hard act to follow.
Jennifer, you're funny.
I'm laughing at Jennifer. She's got like, oh my God, I had a brain hurt.
Jennifer and I both have 3, and we're both just dumbfounded. We don't know how you do it, but I would say stay focused on the class. Cheryl, I would tell you, dive in head first, deep in. So by the time she's got her license, she not only has me, Jennifer, but she has you. Okay.
Because we're both sitting here this morning talking like, how do we,
You go
Thank you.
ahead and get busy, and you stay in class, Brooke, and power through that class just as hard and fast as you can.
And
Honestly, the
husband.
faster you make it through it, the more likely you are to pass that state exam the first time.
because her husband was just shipped out across the country. So she's
Mhm.
doing this solo. And I'm leaving to go back home to California on Saturday.
Okay,
So-
so Brooke, do you have duct tape?
You better check your suitcases, ladies. There's going to be kids in there.
Yeah, stuff as many in her suitcases, and the ones
I
you
might
can't stuff
overnight
in.
a couple. I might go
Just-
to UPS.
Yeah, just duct
Then I
tape them
won't
inside
dive
a
in.
closet until you're done.
Grammy's been a little bit rusty.
It's too funny.
Wow.
Good gracious.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you for your
Yes.
support.
It'll be good.
Yes, happy to do it. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining. I hope that you have found this helpful. Again, check out that website. Everybody but Brooke, check out the website. Brooke is just class and kids, class and kids. All right. And we can't wait to have you getting your exam passed and all that, and then getting that license. Richard's like got his contracting in, waiting for numbers. So it's just we always have somebody at a different stage on here. So thank you all for coming and for your questions. And Tim will work on getting you those templates. If anybody else needs anything, don't hesitate to reach out. Between me, Freddie, Melissa, and Nautica, we try to have you covered for everything, okay? All right, thanks, everybody. Good
Thank
rest
you.
of dial day for those of us that are dialing.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye.